Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on your way in. My apologies. I know I'm extra late. Um, Caught up at work. Had to do some last minute stuff that still didn't go through the way I needed it to. Of course not. Right. So yeah, that just happened the way it happened. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be speaking about a Miss Kim Foster again this morning. Happy morning, everyone. So first, let me put out this ATB for Mr. Obsidian Mumia, right? Mr. Obsidian, she's talking about you and Miss Brown Sugar. And implying that Miss Brown Sugar is just slightly different looking than she is. Okay, yeah, that's it. So yeah. So I just want Obsidian to know, yeah, she's talking about you too, player. And yeah, and she says you're obsessed with her. Look, we really need to get away from the whole women can suggest, imply, take little pot shots at you, and when you respond, or take little pot shots at black men or the black manosphere, and when a black man or the black manosphere responds, or a black man from the black manosphere responds, it's, oh, he's obsessed with me. Kim, you're not a white woman. I know it hurts. I know, Kim. I know. Y'all keep on saying that we're aspiring, excuse me, we're aspiring for white patriarchy. I know, Kim. I know. But listen to how you speak. Listen to the concepts. You're a whole black feminist, which is the biggest indicator that your life's goal is to be Elizabeth Taylor or somebody. Your life's goal is to be upper middle class, rich white woman. And that's even how you speak about class. So there's that part too. And you're stuck in Blackistan with black people. So, you're doing your best rendition of a black woman that wants to see other black women win and the black community win, when really you're just a white feminist, chocolate dipped. Now let's get into something. Um, Kim speaks about sexual liberation with women. She's speaking about um, you know she's yeah, I did not know that was gonna happen. Okay, sorry, y'all. Yeah, so she's speaking about sexual liberation from women, and I'm sorry, um, or for women, right? Sexual liberation and freedom from what and who? It would probably be men, right? Um, and the concepts that men hold that might be um, harmful and detrimental and dangerous to women, right? So the sexual liberation thing, I don't really have much to say about that, not as of yet. Um, you know, Kim, the way she speaks and she couched thing is really on some the empowerment or the betterment of for women, right? But is it really? Not really. It really is couched as this, even though it really is getting at men. So let's get into some things. This is this video, and for those of you that checked out the link in the description, she's doing the whole black women are starting to sound just a smidge too conservative for her liking. When they're speaking about accountability, when they're speaking about being sexually liberated, not necessarily getting them what they want, being attractive, not getting them what they want. So she uses an interview from JT from City Girls. She uses a somewhat recent interview with Brittany Renner. And she uses an interview from what's this young lady's name that's on the I forgot her name. Um, there was one of these young ladies that on a show about speaking about sex and sexuality. They spoke about Kevin a couple years ago, when I forgot the name of this young woman, but yeah. So Kim uses these conversations to have a larger conversation about desirability, um, and she's speaking around the male gaze as in GAZE, not gaze as in GAYS. And she's speaking around it, but she's really speaking about women performing liberation through sexuality and how shallow it is, essentially. Um, and she's taking her time to take shots at men. Now, there is a point where Kim just slightly gets into something I think that is important to speak about, which is not really, this is not really challenging supposed patriarchy, right? This sexual liberation talk and the way it's been framed is not actually challenging patriarchy. And I pause right there to say, yeah, because you're not actually challenging white male elitism. All this talk about anti-capitalism, all y'all do really is hit upside the head working class and everyday men. That's all you and other women like you actually do, Miss Kim Foster. You don't actually go at elite men, the Weinsteins of the world, and the higher ups, the Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos of the world. Y'all don't actually challenge their power. You're a joke to them. You know who you insult, really? Obsidian, Mr. Z. You know, you're kind of everyday guys. The guys you claim are obsessed with you. And I'm not saying Kim knows me or knows of my content. I'm not saying that. I'm saying her critiquing of air quotes men, black men, right? The patriarchy, the men that she says are trying to hold on to little shards of patriarchy, right? You're really going at everyday 9 to 5 dudes or lower middle class dudes or solidly middle class dudes. Women like you don't actually challenge elitism because you low key want to be that, right? And let's address something too with Miss Kim Foster. You know, she speaks about, you know, her her young sex life, right? Her underage sex life. She lost, apparent from what she's saying, from what I can gather, better yet, is that she lost her virginity at 17 years old. She had already been accepted to college, so I'm assuming she had already been accepted to Harvard. Um, Now, if I do the math correctly, 17 years old, Kim Foster's 34 years old, or about to be 34 soon. She told us she went to prom with a white dude. Now, Kim was using this time to low key brag about the fact that her sex life at 17 years old wasn't the greatest, but she was having orgasms. And you know, from the data we have, some what 50% of women don't have orgasms or whatever like that. So this is her way of, like, you know, that humble brag of saying, you know, I was 17 having orgasm. Y'all whole grown women not having orgasms. She didn't say that. She implied it, suggested it, but she didn't say it. Now let's get into it. Miss Kim Foster, did you lose your virginity to a white dude? The same white dude that you went to prom with? Now, it shouldn't matter, but it does. Because that was explaining a whole lot about how you speak right now. That would explain a whole. Now, we understand that Miss Kim Foster currently is in a relationship or a situationship or whatever she's in with a black man. Um, as a matter of fact, she suggested as much when she spoke of, you know, she was speaking and she was like, she read a comment that said, you know, you better don't let him hear this, and she's like, well, he's in the next room. So she and apparently he's a black man, so, you know, we got one of these Paris Milans, you know, out of Miss Kim, you know, where they beat up on black men all day every day, speak about the supposed patriarchy all day every day. Meanwhile, they're with a dude, black dude in particular, right? So yeah, we got that from her. That's great. um why this matters, why it matters is because she did the whole, well, you see, the pretty girls ain't winning neither, they need to put stock in something else. All those women that you think are winning because they're desirable, they're not winning either. That's what Brittany Renner just told us about, you know, how she was um dogged by PJ and all this other stuff, right? They're not winning either. We need to put stock in other things. And y'all are doing feminism wrong. Oh yeah, she got into her lecture bag. Oh yeah. She got into her lecture bag. She got into her shaming bag. She got into her um grandma bag. Oh yeah, she got into that bag. Oh yeah, she did. Right? Yes, she did. Right? Yeah. So once again, intelligent, educated woman, um, who uses her and oh yeah, and she's a bell hook stan. We already knew this. Nobody needed. She didn't need it. We didn't need her to tell us, but she confirmed it. She's a bell hook stan. So there's that. Um, and that, I mean, who needed the confirmation, right? Who needed the confirmation? Um, and she does admit that it's interesting how these particular type of people like Kim, these type of women, speak on things, right? So men are trying to hold on to the little shards of patriarchy, and it's so problematic. But then she then turns around and says, you know, sometimes I find myself falling into the patriarchy. So we're doing things deliberately, and we're monsters. And when they actually want to play with different notions that's patriarchal, you know, they can't help it. You know, they can't help it. I also want to speak about this. Um, Miss Kim Foster, we can't mitigate against everything. Okay. I know. You want to sanitize the entire world so that women like you can do whatever the hell you want, hurt people, insult people, demean people, do your whole white girl suggesting, implying, but then playing victim when somebody claps back at you, which, by the way, is what you were engaging in when you pretty much. She made sure not to say Obsidian's name. She didn't say Obsidian's name, right? But she spoke about a dude that's obsessed with her, and that him and his partner, which is a woman that looks closer to her than to Brittany Renner, were pretty much saying how she's undesirable, and that's really why she's not getting Brittany Renner treatment. So she said Obsidian in everything but name, right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. She said Brittany Renner in everything but name, right? So, and she told her subscribers, hey, don't say his name in the comments. I already have his name blocked out, so if y'all say his name, it's not going to show up. So, yeah, she set up sneak dissing white girl shit. Sneak dissing white girl stuff. I'm sorry to be cursing y'all head off in the morning. Well, that's the only use of profanity I used today. So in her video, speaking about sexuality and desirability, which is interesting because didn't we just get a conversation from Khadijah about desirability not too long ago? Are y'all like doing this whole like, you know what? I'm gonna speak about desirability. Oh, girl, me too. Okay, so we're gonna just hit them with the 1-2 punch about how not to invest in this. I'm waiting for for the next like black bread tube, black lefties to speak about desirability. Let me see. Let me see who's next, so I can see if it's a coordinated effort on telling black women not to put stock into being desired by black men. Huh? Who's next? Let's see. Tino R next? Maybe, possibly. Cat Black next? Who's next? Who's gonna make the don't chase after desirability, especially don't care about what these Negroes gotta say video? Who's gonna be next? Right? So, um, yeah, so Kim calls out Obsidian. She pretty much says this dude. No, she said obsessed. I'm not even good. She didn't even imply it. She said the word obsessed. So so apparently Obsidian is obsessed with Kim for clapping back at her taking little pot shots at the Black Manosphere, right? Once again, sneak this in or just straight up insulting and then acting like a victim or like somebody's trying to do something to you when people respond. When people respond, react to something you said or implied or suggested, all of a sudden it's woe is me, trying to pull your favorite white girl victimhood card, right? Because once again, like Mr. Z keeps on telling you, Kim wishes nothing more. She is Oprah 30 plus years ago, 40 years ago. She wishes for nothing more than to be an upper middle class, rich white woman with her little teacup dog, with her nose in the air, looking down on the Negroes, right? And her best rendition of it is this black feminism kick that she's on. while she tries to rub her newfound boo in the Brittany Renners of the world face. All right. Another elitist a-hole. So yeah, she may not be on the full divester train with Paris, but it's another elitist a-hole um, who is good in her situation apparently, who has some money and has some stuff, and she does the whole like she doesn't. It's not about the words they necessarily use, but she is doing the whole like I'm winning over here with the way I'm doing it. Pretty much how FD approached me and other black brothers in the black manosphere. I'm winning over here with what I'm doing. Are you winning over there? Are you, Kim? You haven't been to Mount Olympus. And if you have been to Mount Olympus, let's say you have, scratch what Mr. Z said. You know what? Mr. Z doesn't know what he's talking about. You got to Mount Olympus off of your own hard work. And these women don't really care to get to Mount Olympus off of their own hard work. They get off on men bringing them onto Mount Olympus. And yes, they're willing to risk men kicking them off of Mount Olympus, but nothing feels better than than to have men do for you. Period. That's the difference, right? You want to be in a relationship while also being super ultra independent, and these women are like, yeah, no, I don't care for that necessarily. Yeah, nah, Kim, you can have that if that's what female empowerment looks like. The struggle between being hyper individualistic and I am woman, hear me roar, and I'm super free, and while also wanting to have men do for me while also not feeling obligated to do for them back because they do for me. Right? This young lady gets into the conversation, gets into her bag of like, even if you are out here, getting how you live, even if you are in a situationship, even if you are friends with benefits, sometimes you want to be held and you need to communicate that to your partner. I'm not actually fully against that, but it still reeks of that. I don't exactly know what I want, although I'm saying I know what I want. And what I want can flip minute to minute, and I need you to be able to move with me minute to minute. And if you can't, then there's something wrong with you. It's you know what it is? For all of us that ever watched The Witcher, the main female character in The Witcher, and when people would ask her, that's feminist as hell, by the way. The main character of The Witcher is like as feminist as you could get. And whenever they would ask her, what does she want? She would say everything. And that is a perfect description of just about all of these type of women like him. What do you want? Everything. Right? And that's Kim. She's speaking around it. She's not saying those words. She knows it sounds really like that's not going to happen, but it's everything. I want this and I want that. And I don't care how much they contradict. And I will try to maneuver this thing using feminist concepts to get both. And I will tie myself into a pretzel, and I will use my intellectualism, and I will use the fact that I went to, excuse me, that I attended Harvard, right? I will use all of that to kind of like maneuver this thing together. Even if it makes no sense, even if it contradicts each other, it doesn't matter. And I will use these video essays and my cultural critique and my critiquing of black men and my critiquing of the black community and me speaking about what's actually powerful and what's actually liberating. I will use all of that language to twist myself into a knot and the rest of my subscribers into a knot to say, I want this and I want that. And I want consequences from neither. Right? And I'm gonna need Kim to never say shout out to my nigga though ever again, ever. It sounded so corny coming out your mouth. It sounded so corny coming out your mouth. She's glowing. She's in a relationship now. She's glowing, and this is her. She's glowing enough to throw the fact that she's in a relationship right now in Brittany Renner's face and other women like her face. Like, I'm not the pretty one, but I'm winning. I got the man and I got the money on my own terms, which is something to kind of like, low key. That is something to kind of brag about. Let's see how long it lasts. But Toya, you see, Toya, comment of the video. Thank you. And I'm not the only one who sees it. And she actually says the word misandry, like essentially, like people are accusing me of misandry because you are. And Toya says, I kind of like Kim, but she thinks she can intellectualize her way out of through misandry. Let me read that one more time. I kind of like Kim. I don't really like her like that, but okay, I understand. And Toya says, I kind of like Kim, but she thinks she can intellectualize her way through misandry. And that's exactly what she's engaging in. And so many Xer and younger boomer black women think they can do that. And then they lie. Well, Kim right now, her life is straight. But oftentimes, these women's lives be like shattered, like just 1,000 different pieces because low-key, they still want a particular type of man while trying to do the misandry thing too, and then getting mad at the world that they can't fit both in the same space. Look, why can't I be misandrous? Why can't I be a misandrous while still having the alpha man and not calling him alpha? And he worships at my dirty draws. Right? Why can't I have it all? And it really is about having it all, right? She low-key laments not having the baller dude that earns even more than her. And I don't know about this current situation that she's in right now, but from previous videos, she says like, I have to accept it, but you could tell from her tone, I don't want to though. Why can't I be a misandrist and still get the baller dude? The good looking, charismatic baller dude, right? Like Kim, we know who you are, bro. We have you as a cousin, Kim. We know who you are, Kim. We know who you are, Kim. You could pull that stuff with them white women you went to school with at Harvard. You could pull those because they may not know it. And low key, they kind of know too. They're just playing along with you. We know, but we know who the black community knows who you are. Even the black women in your comment section that go along with you know who you are. They're kind of like you too, by the way. But that whole like, oh, Obsidian. Well, she didn't say Obsidian name, but this guy, and don't say his name, and him and his partner critiquing me, and he's so obsessed with me, bruh. Like Mr. Z said, you can do that with the white girls and the white women you went to school with. You can pull that whole imitation upper middle class rich white girl white woman thing with them, just a chocolate dip version of them with them. And he's obsessed with me with them. The I'm not misandrous, although I'm misandrous with them. You could pull that with the white girls and the white women that you went to school with. I'm just critiquing the black community and black men, and there's something to be said about, shout out to all those black men who aren't putting so much stock in their penis. She didn't say penis. Or did she? I don't remember. But yeah, and all the men that are trying to help them to do that. Shout out to you. Well, shout out to the women that don't try to hide their misandry behind intellectualism. And it's crazy, Toya, that you said that. I thought that when I was hearing her say that, that's when I thought like that's when my clapback was coming through, which is shout out to all the women that don't try to hide their misandry through intellectualism. Shout out to all the women that don't try to hide their insecurity, the fact that they're not the air quotes chosen women. Because yeah, you in a relationship right now, Kim. You still resentful that you ain't a Brittany Renner. That's half the reason why you keep on bringing her and other women like her up, right? You're Oprah, but you're more savvy in not saying that you're resentful, that you got to do all this work. You're acting like you feel like it's liberating. What you thought, Kim? When you think we don't know who you are, we know who you are. Kim is the one that act like she feels so liberated because she got it on her own. She got it out the mud by herself, and she doesn't claim it all by herself. I will give her the fact that she does speak about her network in the fact that people have been a bit more lenient with her, even though she may not have deserved it. I will give her that. She has spoken about that multiple times, right? But the work that she's done, she act like yeah, it's more fulfilling this way. I don't believe it because I don't think you even believe it. Are are you selling are you selling a soap you don't even believe in that you don't even use? I'm just saying. Now there is something to be said about putting all of your stock in your physical desirability. There is some, you know, I gotta give her that. Yeah, there's something to be said about being the cute chick or the pretty chick or the uber sexy woman, right? But yet you have no intelligence, you have no charisma, you don't know anything. Yeah, you know what? Yes. Yes, Kim, you are absolutely right about that. Absolutely right about that. But on the opposite end are the women that try to rig the game all the way. Like all you pretty women need to not put stock in all your looks, and it matter something matters more than that. Other things matter more than that. Yeah, you're right, but why are you saying that though? You're correct, but why are you saying that? And once again, thank you for the super sticker, Kaneda. Kaneda with the 5 on the super sticker. Thank you very much, brother. Right? It's crazy. I'm getting Kaneda's name correct now. I don't even remember how I used to say it. I tried to remember how I used to say it wrong, and I couldn't even remember how to pronounce it the wrong way. Right? And the reason why I brought up Oprah is we know Oprah straight up said, and all I and bruh, it's we're many of us are thinking alike when we hear this, and I don't think it's on coincidence. When Obsidian compared her to a younger Oprah online, I was like, that's exactly what I thought. And I'm not making that up. That's exactly what I. As a matter of fact, I think I said it. I think I said it before Obsidian. I think I said it before Obsidian said it. Right? And then when Toya just said like you can't intellectualize your misandry, that literally that's what I was gonna say when I brought this up. Like that was my clap back for her saying, shout out to all the men that are trying to, and I'm paraphrasing this part where she was like, shout out for all the men that's doing the work of trying to get men not to think that you're nothing but your penis, right? And I wanted to, and my response was gonna be like, shout out to all the women that's not trying to intellectualize their misandry, their anti-black male misandry, their disdain for working class regular black men, right? And so when Toya said it, I was so glad that she said it because I'm like, okay, so Mrs. Z not the only one that sees what Kim from Fort Harriet is engaging in, and what many women like her in the past engaged in. You're not new, Kim, right? You're not new. And there are certain things that she was saying that I agree with young women and sexuality and body and how the church raises you and some of these prudish notions. There's certain things I kind of agree with her on, to be honest. Certain things I'm like, yeah, but obviously what's animating her and fueling her, I hate that Nameless gave me the word animating because I'm using that all the time now. Right? But what's fueling her is the misandry. So yeah, a broken clock could be right twice a day. And her pretty much throwing her man in Brittany Renner's face and whoever is like Brittany Renner, and pretty much throwing her man in the Black Manosphere face, pretty much like on some, well, yeah, look, I'm winning. I'm doing it my way and I'm winning. And, that's something to brag about. That is something to brag about. Let's see. Let's see. You never know. In 2 years, Kim Foster could tell us she getting married in a year or two. Right? She says she don't want to have kids. Let's see. Let's see. Y'all let Kim Foster mess around and get married and have kids. Y'all can't tell her nothing unless she get divorced. But until then, y'all couldn't tell her, bruh, I'm winning. I get to be misandrous and have a nuclear family with a man, a black man possibly. Oh, y'all not gonna be able to tell her nothing. Y'all let Kim mess around, get married, renege on her saying that she really doesn't want to have children, get married, have children, and still be misandrous towards black men. Oh, right. And excuse me, continue to frame it as if she's just, excuse me, like she's just critiquing kind of what's going on in the black community, and she wants to see black men win through, or black women win, right? But yeah, there's a couple of things that stood out to me. I'm not gonna get so much into the talk of black women's sexuality and but the the fact that she said she lost her virginity at 17. Okay, that's neither here nor there, whatever. I really don't have much to say about that. But once again, I'm wondering if it's to that same white dude that she went to the prom with. And if it is, ha, huh, right? You're way more white girl than I even considered earlier. Even if you're with a black man now, you're way more of an upper middle class, and at this point probably rich white woman, chocolate dipped, than I previously thought you were. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, right? And it gives us a better lens at which to see you from. Once again, even if you're currently with a black man. And you could claim, yeah, I went to prom with a white dude because the black guys weren't checking in high school. Yeah, whatever. You went to prom with a white dude and possibly lost your virginity to a white dude. And he was the first one to make you orgasm or have you orgasm. And that says a lot. If the first person to have you orgasm was a white dude when you were 17 years old, Miss Kim Foster, that says a lot. And it explains a lot. Oh, explains a lot. So even if you're with a black man now, maybe because them white dudes was side-eyeing the hell out of you when you were in Harvard because you thought you were good. Of course, Mr. Z is doing nothing but speculating right now. This is all speculation. Not the part about her losing her virginity at 17, she said that. And not the part about her say going to prom with a white dude, she said that too. Right? Right? But what, Kim, did them white boys check you in Harvard and let you know you're not their type? Excuse me, those white men, young men at Harvard? And so that's why you messing with the Negroes now? Y'all let Kim, like I said, y'all let Kim mess around. And God, y'all imagine if Kim Foster's current boyfriend earns more money than her? If he makes more money than her, and they mess around and get married and have kids, bro, this lady is gonna be bulletproof. Bulletproof. I get to be misandrous. My man make more money than me. I got my YouTube checks coming in. Oh, And Kaneda says, interesting that black women practicing misandry considers getting a man to be winning. The irony. But she didn't say it. As a matter of fact, everything about Kim Foster is what she says out her mouth, not how she acts. We can see how she's acting right now. She's that video. Yes, she's going in on the mid slight bit, and yes, she's speaking about sexuality, but she's glowing. She's glowing, right? So she never actually says getting a man is an accomplishment or anything like that. As a matter of fact, she's against even thinking that way. As a matter of fact, she said it this time, and she said it in the previous video speaking about Brittany Renner. Getting a man is not an accomplishment, and getting a rich man for her, because she speaks like these men that want to hurt you and harm you are in every income bracket, and getting a man, even a rich man, she doesn't say these exact words, but getting even a rich man that wants to air quotes harm you in a particular income bracket is still not an accomplishment. So I got to make space for her with that. She never actually says that. But the way she's acting right now, though, and the way she's glowing, and the way she says, shout out to my nigga, it sounded so fucking corny when she said that. Okay, you know what? We're using profanity this morning. We're using profanity. Screw it. Yeah, but the way she says it sounds so corny. Oh, it sounds so corny. Right? And Mr. Z is not no hood dude at all, clearly. Right? But I know a cornball when I see one. Game recognized game. I know my square people when I see them. Right? And I know certain phraseology not to use because I would sound corny as hell using it, unless I'm saying it ironically or quoting someone. For the most part, every once in a while, you dip into the corny. Jesus is corny. And Toya says, she tried it. Yeah, she tried to holler at them white dudes at Harvard, and they probably summarily was like, what? What gave you the impression? Right? Toya Nodi, bro, we all done ran into, dog, this is one of our cousins from the burbs. We know who she is. And she said, and Toya says, all up at Harvard trying to tie her sweater around her neck and keep the keep the kinks concealed for Brad. Bruh. D. Scott said, my nigga. Not a rush hour reference. Hey, we know who you are, Miss Kim Foster. You can continue doing this whole black women empowerment thing. And let me say this. When I see women like this and people like this, I'm not against believing in something. I see Kim and other black people that kind of occupy that space as borderline a rebel without a cause, right? It's you're speaking about black feminism, and I because from my understanding, she went to school for Africana studies. That was her major, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not mistaken, right? And when you hear, and like I said before, shout out to the person that remembered me saying it and was laughing about it. They need to stop calling it Africana studies. They need to call it hate nigga studies, because all these black women coming out of Africana studies hate niggas. Even if they have sex with them, even if they get married to them, even if they have black sons, they hate black men. They hide their disdain for black men behind critiquing black men and behind black feminism, and wanted to see the betterment of black women. And there's something real insidious about that. Are you being educated, ladies, or are you being indoctrinated? I'm asking. It's just a question. All these Africana study majors, black women, and even some brothers come out of Africana studies hating niggas. And there's something real sick about that shit. Now that we're using profanity, I could say it like this. There's something real sick about that. being overly critical of black men, claiming you want to get rid of the patriarchy, claiming you want to get rid of the patriarchy, once again, claiming you want to get rid of the patriarchy. Meanwhile, your most scarring and the time when we see you seething the most is when you're critiquing black men. Air quotes, critiquing black men. You have very little to say about your supposed white supremacist capitalist patriarchy. You have very actually little to say about that on your video essays and the way you critique these people, at least on camera, right? Like I said, stop calling it Africana studies. Call it hate nigga studies. Bro, hey, Black Zenio said, how much, I know you meant to say money. How much money does a bachelor's in Africana studies get you? I know you could parlay that into hate niggas on online for with some tens of thousands of subscribers. I know you could parlay that into some, you know what? I'm on some black feminist kick, and I'm just gonna talk shit about the niggas all day. While I maintain my class position, right? While I look down on these niggas and tell black women, let me say this again, black women who are among some of the poorest in America, tell them, hey, we need to bring back, we don't need these niggas feminism. You're telling black women to bring back, we don't need these niggas feminism while they're being evicted. Goddamn. And you claim to care about black women. You claim to care about black women, but you want them to bring back, we don't need these niggas feminism while they're being the face of eviction right now in America. Y'all should see Mr. Z right now, shaking his head, doing the shrug shoulders. With the face of explain it then. Go ahead. Right? What, you gonna blame that on black men? Because we're not up to par? You wanna put your big toe in the divestiture pool? Wait a minute, you might have lost your virginity to a white dude. You did way more than put your big toe in the pool if that's the case. Huh. Once again, she didn't say it. Mr. Z is just trying to put the math together. I could be 100% wrong about that. If she lost her virginity at 17, but she went to prom with a white dude, I'm just asking. And now she's in a situation telling black women, don't put too much stock in this kind of desirability thing and you know your sexuality and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, she's glowing because now she's in a situation with a dude. I'm assuming black dude because she said shout out to my nigga though, and I'm hoping she ain't saying shout out to my nigga to a non-black dude. Shit sound corny as hell anyway, right? And shout out to Kaneda for the other super sticker, right? This, bro. I'm somebody please. Am I the only one that see this? And I want to Toya think let's look Toya, you don't gotta put no money on it. I gotta highlight this. I gotta highlight this again because this is the comment, and no offense to the brothers, but this is the comment of today. Wait a minute. It is the comment. It is the comment of this morning because it perfectly reads what so many black women in particular in this kind of space are engaging in. The Kims of the world, right? I'm not gonna put that on any other particular black woman. I'm not gonna put that on Julesy necessarily. I'm not gonna put that on nappy headed jojoba necessarily. Even T Noir, which I'm not gonna put it all the way on. But the Kims, oh, that's exactly what they're engaging in. And let's read that comment again. I kind of like Kim, but she thinks she can intellectualize her way through misandry, and that's And she says the word misandry in her video, in this recent video. And she claims she's not engaging in that. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And once you think you can intellectualize your way through it. And Taraka says she doesn't look American. No, she is. She is, right? If I'm not mistaken, she is mom and dad's side, if I'm not mistaken. Right? And like I said, she's somewhat right about women not putting all their stock in desirability and beauty. Um, I can understand why she's gloating right now, because right now, especially from her vantage point, she's winning. She gets to be misandrous under the guise of critiquing um, the black community, black men, um, and she now has a man. Um, you know, apparently it's going good for her. Um, you know, I'm guessing he's doing somewhat well in life, also financially. Um, she says she doesn't date non-college educated men, so I'm guessing he's college educated brother. So from her vantage point, look like she winning. But for a person to, you can see them glowing, and they're low key bragging about, not even low key, but low key bragging about winning their way, but then also going after the Brittany Renners and the JTs and the other women who previously put too much stock in being desirable, and then trying to find freedom or liberation from men through having sex willy nilly with men. I mean, yeah, tying yourself into a knot there, right? Huh. While wanting to be desired, but don't want to put too much stock into being not wanting to put the energy. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like a person that did and failed, and that's okay. Mr. Z, I'm not a super hunk. I'm not. I'm not over 6 feet. I don't have washboard stomach or six pack. I don't got biceps and triceps bulging through my shirt, right? But it's you talk about a race to the bottom, Miss Kim Foster, but it is almost like you're engaging in that just from a different angle. I didn't win in this kind of physical desirability game, so let me kind of get everybody else on this. Don't try to really go down that road. It's a fool's errand. Miss Kim, just like you're speaking about all the women who have lost and that try to pursue that, I can speak about all the women that did the whole I am women, hear me roar, I'm going to win in my own terms, black feminism, or just feminism writ large. And now they're in their 50s, 60s, empty house, no children, cats. We could, I don't want to engage in this, but we could do the tit for tat thing. If you're going to do that, if you're going to speak that way about Brittany Renner, I can then turn around and bring up to you people that went down the road you're going on, even if you win at this, people that went down the road you're going on, and they have the home. They paid off their home, or they're just about it. They have a nice little baby luxury car. You know, they're not relying on any man. They're successful in their own right. They have casual sex with men of their age group or older, or they get, they got the younger dude that's playing target practice with them, but they go home to an empty house and cats and to a nuclear powered vibrator, right? And they're actually not happy.
And D Scott said, Mr. Z, you ain't gotta be buff. You got that Rick Ross beard, bro. Beard gang, right? You know, at the end of the day, I'll say this. You can't, man, Toya, that was such a look, man. Toya, I was gonna say it till you beat me to the punch, but I'm so happy you did. I am so glad you did. And once again, Toya, black woman, a black woman, we see it, we know what it is, and you know what it is, right? We know, you ever, because we've done it before, but I think the best way for me to do it is describe it coming from another person. You ever catch somebody in a lie, or you catch somebody doing something messed up and they're mad at you for catching them and they're still in denial, right? It's like, or you see something, a characteristic about a person, and you call it out and they steady telling you that's not them, that's not who they are, while they're engaging in it. That's by the way, that's not just Kim, that's people, that's human beings, that's not a black thing, that's not a woman thing, that's a human thing, right? But that is what she's engaging in right now, right? She talks about allegations of misandry. That's because you're a misandrist, lady. You just hiding it behind intellectualism. I've been saying that. Y'all hide all of your anti-black misandry behind a college degree, big words, four-syllable words, overly complicated BS. Philosophers and black intellectuals and poets from yesteryear. Y'all could quote Baldwin, y'all could quote Hooks, y'all could quote it, name them. Malcolm, Martin, name them. Shirley Chisholm, y'all quoting all these different people, but really, when it boils down to, these niggas ain't shit. That's what it boiled down to. Even if you're with a black man, right? And Toya said we be on the same page, Z, for real, right? That's a, you know what? And the brother says Kim and FD need to argue it out with Themis and Sinji about, are they smashing the patriarchy, or are black men, excuse me, are black men must build the capitalism man dominated community. You know what's interesting about Themis is that the brother's gay, but he's conservative, right? The brother's gay, but he's conservative. Told you, stush black, stush Jamaican woman, just a stush middle age, middle upper middle class, or aspiring to be upper middle class Jamaican woman. Just see Themis like that, and it'll make all the sense in the world. Trust me, right? And like Black Zenio said, pontificating and shit. Bro, that's all it is. That's all it is. You know, and like I said, y'all put out the what is it, APB or APB out to Obsidian and let him know homegirl talking crap again. Um, you know, and like I said, there's certain things even in this video I kind of agree with her on a little bit, teeny tiny bit, right? Because you know, once again, a broken clock could be right twice a day, but then of course she got to veer off into her misandry bag, right? And Canada says ninja ain't ish is a hell of a drug. Rick Ross, I'm saying Rick Ross. See, y'all know from Dade County. I gotta read it again now. Canada says ninjas ain't ish is a hell of a drug. Rick James, right? And Kareen says, "Yep, most Jamaicans are conservative naturally. Yeah, yep." And if Kareen, you've heard of Themis before, right? Themis and Thaw. You tell me he don't come off as one of them wannabe upper middle class, or maybe he is upper middle class, stush, middle aged Jamaican women. Tell me he don't come off like them, because that is what he is. I'm just saying. That's what he come off like. He come off like the the women I knew growing up and that I know now that got their nose in the air and they drive them a little E-class Benz, a little 5 Series Beamer, right? Bleaching their skin with the cake soap. What y'all thought Mr. Z ain't know? Just the Jamaican version of what they ain't gonna do. They always sucking their teeth. They're mad at the world, but they're classy about it. Themis is just that. But back to Miss Kim Foster. Look, Miss Kim, we know who you are. You are a misandrist. Um, this whole kick about not putting all your stock in being desired or you know cosplay black female liberation through sexuality. She said something along those lines. I might have I might be being too wordy about it, but yeah, and actually that actually makes sense. That part of what she's saying does make sense. Cosplay cosplay liberation through sexuality, or something along those lines she was saying. And I actually agree with her on that. I actually agree with her on that, you know? And Kareem said, yes, he does. Saw his program twice. Don't like him. I'm saying. Yeah, Donovan, if I have to choose my black Jamaican gays, I think Donovan is, even as much as I disagree with Donovan, and he did a whole lot of virtue signaling on the grapevine. God damn, Donovan did virtue signaling on the grapevine. But if I have to choose a gay Jamaican to talk to about black men in America, I'll choose Donovan all day, every day before Themis. If you put a gun to my head and I had to choose one, I know brothers in here like, man, y'all just killed me, but I know. Right? If I had to choose a gay Jamaican brother to talk to about black men and the plight of black men in America, in the struggles and the way straight black men view things, right? And a person I think that is, saying more reasonable is so hard. It's so difficult to say that. Let me say this slow. Which one of them I think is more reasonable? Jesus Christ, I said this. Donovan. If we have to choose, yeah, I'm with you on that one, Kareem. It's Donovan, right? Thank you, Emerald. And Emerald Edge said, also great comment, Mr. Z. I noticed that too. Catching people in a lie and they're mad that they're caught. Bro, don't be mad that we labeled you a misandrist because you're a misandrist. You just like Paris, talking just like Chrissy. See, y'all could disagree on other stuff, but all of y'all agree on not going to protest for black men that get murdered by the state. Y'all all in agreement with that. Some of them are swirlers, some of them are divestors, some of them talk about it. You actually engaged in it. Whoops. Yeah, you may be with a black man now, but you went to prom with a white dude, and you possibly, she didn't say it. I want to make sure I said Kim from Fort Harriet did not say this, but she did say she lost her virginity at 17, and we know she went to prom with a white dude. I'm just trying to put the math together. I'm trying to see if the math, right? So once again, she did not say that. I'm just seeing if the math. To me, it looked like a math that she might have lost her virginity and had her first orgasm because she said she was having orgasms back then with this person that she was having sex with when she was 17 years old. So I'm just seeing if Kim lost her virginity to this white dude when she was 17 and she was having orgasms from this dude, and she never really felt desired by black men in that particular way, even if she's with a black man now, I'm just saying the math make a whole lot of sense. But once again, we know she dated. We know she went to prom with a white dude. We know she said she was having orgasms back then, and we know that she lost her virginity at 17. If 1 + 1 + 1 equal 3, I'm just saying, you know, you know. Hey, but who am I? So, you know, I came to y'all with this today because, first of all, like I said, y'all tell Obsidian homegirl talking about her and saying that um brown what's Obsidian's lady's name, right? Or the online name, right? Is it Brown Sugar or Queen Sugar or Queen Brown Sugar? Anyway, saying that she looks far more closer to the Kim saying that she looks closer to what Kim looks like than what um Brittany Renner looks like, right? And you know, yeah, but y'all don't got no kinship. She's not resentful, bitter in a relationship or not. Now I will give you this, like I said, Kim is glowing. And y'all look at all her recent streams and videos and lives, but her makeup is on point. The hair is laid. Now she's glowing. She's still a sassy a-hole with her nose in the air on some elitist classes stuff while she rails against capitalism. I'm just saying, right? You want to talk about a walking contradiction. Jesus. Don't put all your stock in being desired and men and all of this. Meanwhile, she's glowing, talking about her nigga being in the back. It's okay, Kim. It's okay to admit that you happy you got a man. The way you glowing, it look like y'all just smashed. It's okay. It's okay. People like being liked. They like being desired. That it's okay. And shout out to whoever you are, dude. You're doing the Lord's work. I look, Mr. Z got to be the softest, weakest, dumbest nigga on the planet because I couldn't do it. I could look. Shout out to Charles. Yes, I'm a sadomasochist, but not on that level. Jesus Christ. D. Scott said, good lighting goes a long way, yo. It could be that too. It could be that. Yeah, yeah, it could be that. The camera and the lighting and all that other stuff. You know? Yeah. Trail. You know? But she's glowing. I'm happy for her with that. FD asked me when am I gonna get off the misandry? I mean the misogyny. Tell her to get off the misandry first. Ladies first. There you go. Tell the Kim Fosters of the world to get off the misandry first. Right? Charles says, I don't know, Z. You be surprised at me. Right? but yeah, tell MD asked me in front of y'all like, what is it gonna take for you to drop the misandry? I mean the misogyny, excuse me. First of all, are we misogynist? Meh. Kim Foster, on the other hand, just saying. Okay, you mean you'd be surprising me like I surprise you. Thermocat says Dr. Z gives the advice. It's okay to be liked. I'm saying it's like they cringe. Like it's like they don't want to say it. I want to be desired by men. I want to be desirable. I want to be liked. I want to be seen as pretty. Let me say this. Ooh, Mr. Z, you gotta say it. I'm gonna say it. Low key, I wish I was Brittany Renner. I wouldn't have fumbled a bag like she did. Kim, are you low key saying that to yourself? All this talk you doing, are you low key? Forget what you saying to all your subscribers. Are you low key saying that to yourself? If I had Britney's looks, I wouldn't have fumbled the bag. Are you saying that to yourself, Kim? Yeah, you rubbing your man in her face now, but are you low key saying if I looked like Britney, I wouldn't have fumbled the bag. I would have still been on Mount Olympus. And yeah, Kim Foster could have still possibly been on some misandrous anti-black man thing while having sex with black men. Okay, possibly, but you would have been with a basketball player or a football player or an actor. Huh. The brother said, what you said? He said, I've dated black women even less attractive than Kim, as long as they have that ass, though. Yeah, but Kim wants a certain class of black man, right? She wants a certain class. She's Steph just with a larger vocabulary, right? That's all. She's just that, right? Oh, this is interesting. And Spainman says Netflix has a docu series on AI. One of episodes is using AI on dating apps to counteract women of color, black women doing the talking, getting looked over by white men. Oh boy. Okay. Y'all prepare for Mr. Z to do a video on this one. Thank you, Spain man. My head instantly hurt, not because of that particular episode that you're speaking of, but just and this is what it comes down to. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard Mr. Z say it. It's as if women of color are adopting feminism just to walk into the back door of power, but also to just get access to white men, right? Just to get access to white men. Or to get access to upper middle class, rich white women positionality. Kim Foster. You know, I would like to bring up this quote again. I know Fab Socialism probably hates, and she don't know about me, but probably hates that I'm bringing up this quote over and over again. Why is it that all these radical women, she didn't say radical feminists, but all these radical women are with white dudes? I'm just saying, because that's the goal. That was the goal in the first place, right? And Charles says they are raised to be insufferable and antisocial. That's why every relationship they have ends up in dumpster fire. Funny. They can't help themselves. They want to be liked, but they're not likable. Hey, I actually agree with that. You don't want to exercise that muscle, then fine. Hey, the ice isn't colder. Shout out to Trell. Trell said the ice isn't colder. White penis is harder. White men's ice. Well, excuse me. Let me say that better. White men's ice is colder, and apparently their penis is harder too. Trail. Uh, apparently, right? So the white man's ice is colder and the penis is harder. That's what women of color is telling us, right? Uh, well, according to Lexus Exodus, our sex game ain't all that either. Our sex game ain't even. So Lexus Exodus was like, I'm gonna go after the one thing that everybody think black men are the best at. Let me say that they're not great at that either. Oh man, man. Like I said, shout out to Sister Kim Foster. Look, we know who you are. You could pull all that, the way you speak, the way you portray yourself, excuse me, the over intellectualizing your misandry, the 4 and 5 syllable words, the overly complicated concept to say these niggas ain't shit, them niggas ain't choose me. I went to prom with a white dude, even though I wanted the black jock or one of the black nerds that I felt kinship with. Um, and the white dude had me orgasming, and that felt great. But I would much rather have it been a black dude. Then I went to Harvard. I'm putting so much words in her mouth. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this, but I'm just Then I went to Harvard. Thought I had it in with the white dudes, and yeah, I didn't. And now I just want to date black men. Okay, cool. Anyway, Miss Kim Foster, we know who you are, and that's cool. You keep on doing your misandry thing under the guise of black feminism and being the voice for black women. Yeah, and I'm happy that you're in a relationship. I was hoping that it would help you to stop being so misandrous and hiding all of your sexist crap behind being about black women. I was hoping that, but apparently not. And this is what hope gets you. That's Mr. Z fault. I should have known better. I'm just saying. But nice glow though. I'm happy that you happy. Right? And so you made me remember my last point. Thank you, Big Kev. That was my last point. So something that she said um about kind of recreating patriarchy through this kind of sexual liberation thing and like not really going at the system. Kim, that's the whole point. Y'all don't go at, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but let me get to it. Thank you, Big Kev. I gotta hurry up because I gotta walk my girl out the door in a couple minutes. Kim, that's the whole point. Y'all don't actually go at white supremacy. Y'all don't actually go at white patriarchal supremacy. Y'all don't. You talk a good game. Maybe Kim is doing something behind the scenes we don't know. Okay. Possible. I doubt it. But maybe she's doing something behind the scenes that we don't know. But much of your ire seems to be from a particular brand and type of black man. You sounded like Brittany Cooper, or better yet, what's not Brittany Cooper. What is her name? Her face is in my head. The founder of Me Too. Not the white women, the founder of Me Too. What is her name? It's right there. But anyway, when Tariq was getting at her on Twitter years and years ago, and she pretty much said, "Why would I go at white men?" Right? Getting at her for over like all her ire being towards black men, and she said, why would I go at white men?" It was either Brittany Cooper, or it was oh my god, her name is right there. Ugh, I can't remember it. Either way, um, but yeah. So Big Kev, yes, you're right about the class thing, bro. They're not actually challenging white supremacy, white elite men, because low key they want to be with white elite men. Tawana Burke, thank you, Trill, thank you. Tawana Burke. It was either Tawana Burke or Brittany Cooper. I'm not gonna do the joke of why I'm possibly getting them confused. Y'all can have that. Um, but yeah, you know, it was one of them that Tariq was going back and forth with on Twitter years ago, and they were like, why would I say anything about white dudes? you know. So yeah, yeah. D Scott, you ain't ish. Detroit got it right earlier. Okay, I didn't see that. Detroit. Oh, he said Tamara Burke. No, Toronto Burke. But yeah, D Scott. D Scott. Hey, bro. I know why you say that. I'm not even good. I'm not even. Yeah. At the end of the day, let's just call a thing a thing. We know who these people are. We know who Kim Foster is. We know why she sounds the way she sounds. That's why we're calling you a misandrist, because you are. And shout out to Toya for the comment earlier. You're trying to hide your misandry behind being intellectual, right? 4 and 5 syllable words. I've said this before, right? So no, ma'am, no, no. And shout out to you. I'm glad that you're glowing. You're glowing. I'm hoping that this will help you drop the misandry. I doubt it. But here's for hope, right? Can you get over the fact that the niggas wasn't checking for you in high school? And that's what's really fueling you. Even if you went to therapy. Yes. Yeah. It's that. So let me hurry up and get out of here. Um, you know, Kim, I can't have you being the only one out here glowing. I gotta go walk my girl out the door so that she could glow too. I can't have you being the only one glowing out here, Buzz. Look at her. Shout out to my nigga. That shit sounds so corny. Because please don't do that again, please, Kim. I'm begging you, please. I watch your stuff too, Kim. It's a lot of it's not hate watching. It's more like rage watching, right? But yeah, like please. I know you don't. You know what? You probably gonna do that again just to torture me. But please, like it just didn't fit you. It didn't fit you. Yeah. Maybe that was your inner city girl trying to come out, and it just didn't fit. It was awkward, and it sounded weird, and yeah. Please don't do that again, please. Charles said hope is for suckers. I'm a sucker to. I'm hoping that we could get her to come. Reel it back a little bit. I know it ain't gonna happen, but Dr. Thunder said therapy ain't ish. Look. Oh, please, Kim, please, for the love of God, don't say shout out to my nigga again. Please, for the love of God, please. But you were glowing when you said it, though. You were glowing. And I'm happy he doing that for you. Right? But please, God, for the love of God, don't say that shit again. Please. God damn, that shit was corny. It's like hearing a teacher scratch on a chalkboard corny. Like, Jesus Christ. Lord. Maybe because you were talking about JT from the City Girls and you thought you could channel that energy. It didn't come out right. It didn't. Jesus Christ. But whoever dude is, shout out to you. Please, this take her away. Just please. Jeez. Dr. Thunder. Hey, I don't know. Okay. On that note, let me go walk my lady out the door so I can have her glowing too. But Kim was glowing. I actually like seeing for her. Everything else, lady, please stop it. Please. The intellectualizing your misandry, please stop that. Please. For the love of God. And yes, you are misandrous. And on that note, love, peace, and chicken grease, because I gotta go like now if I want to hope to walk her to the door. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out Dr. Thunder. He's probably gonna start a stream. Yeah. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. I might come to y'all with an afternoon stream. Oh yeah, and y'all make sure to let Mr. Obsidian know homegirl over here is still talking shit. So yeah, calling him obsessed with her. Look, stop doing the whole pot shot thing, and then when somebody responds, you do the whole, oh God, let me do my best rendition of a hurt, victimized white woman. Damsel in distress. Oh, he's obsessed with me. Stop it. Anyway, I'll end it right there. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.